Good afternoon. I have some beef taco meat finishing up here. I thought I would share the process for doing some quick prepping for taco meat, and then a second video later on which will show you how to make homemade taco shells out of corn tortillas. A lot easier than you'd think. And little tips and tricks are always helpful. So at this point, now that I've got the meat and all the seasonings mixed in and have the meat browned, I'm just going to take a moment to drain off the fat. This is a neat little trick with draining. One of the most useful things in the kitchen is a sieve like this, and you just nest it into a bowl, drop the goodness in there, give it just a little pass. All right. Flip it off. And I actually let this grease cool completely, and if it's a little, if the texture is a little squishy, I will just use a spatula to scrape it out of the bowl, and it's pretty easy disposal. You certainly don't want to drop anything like that into your drain. So now that I've added the meat back to the pan, I'm gonna leave it at medium-high heat. Okay, and that is literally just some cornstarch and water. And my hope is that this will kind of thicken it up and just make it a little bit chewier, juicier taco meat. And certainly if it's too wet, or you wouldn't want it runny to put it on taco, you could just cover it, let it simmer, and stir it occasionally to thicken. I'd say drop it down to medium heat for a couple minutes. We'll check it at 3 minutes. We'll say medium-low heat here. Because your meat is cooked, you don't want to overcook it. It just kind of loses flavor and texture and everything. But this is wonderful to have on hand. I usually cook up 2 pounds worth of ground beef at a time to make taco meat, and I use the fresh part of the fresh for a meal, and then I transfer the remainder of the meat to a baking sheet lined with parchment paper, and I pop that into the freezer for at least a couple of hours. Then you can very easily just kind of hold up the sides of the parchment and tip it into a sealable bag, freezer bag, something like that. And it's nice to have available. So if you're making, random things, this could be very useful. You're making a Mexican omelet, or some burritos, or a nice taco salad. You could just grab a portion frozen at a time and just cook it up in a pan as is. And that's why I'm hoping that this extra step makes the meat very tender, so that the reheat after this process will still yield tender meat. But I hope this may be a useful little shortcut to take with one meal that is pretty common. A lot of people eat tacos at least once a week, and kids love them. But do enjoy, and the next video will cover how to make, of course, the homemade taco shells using corn tortillas. Thank you for watching.